So I have the ad ranker here. You know, USA Today does that every year.
Yeah.
Where they rank the Super Bowl ads.
There's only, and I haven't seen this, but there's only 2 ads that are worthy of even being considered for number 1. In my opinion.
Well, that's all. I was going to say that's all in the eye of the beholder there,
True.
Jace. But yeah, there's a lot of ads getting buzzed. It doesn't necessarily mean they're good. Like, for example, the Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
Robert, is his name Robert?
Robert. RFK.
Yeah, the RFK ad is getting a lot of buzz, but probably not for the right reasons or for good reasons.
He's a polarizing guy.
I saw a lot of people comparing his ad to Connor Roy being in the presidential race in Succession.
Jesus has a lot of money. We found that out.
Jesus does have a lot of money, and then it turns out that that's a front for a group that has some views that not a lot of mainstream people love. So,
like a foot fetish, like Jesus was a foot guy.
That's some. Well, then
they spent millions to tell us Jesus was a foot guy. Well, then that's how they spend their money.
The other interesting part was, so obviously it made the left upset. And then, but it pissed off a lot of like uber right wing Christians because they were claiming that that's not Jesus. That Jesus, you shouldn't look the other way at sin, and they weren't happy. So those ads managed to piss off both non-Christians and Christians alike.
What was the foot thing though? I didn't like. What is that?
In the Bible, Jesus washed people's feet.
Okay, but
the whole point
what are they telling us?
The whole point of the ad was Jesus didn't hate anyone. Jesus washed the feet of people that were beneath him or that he didn't see eye to eye with. So they were saying, instead of hating everybody that doesn't agree with you, be like Jesus, be humble, wash
Be a
the
foot
feet.
guy.
And then the ultra Christians were like, how dare you? They thought they were being sacrilegious to Jesus.
Yeah, we have to hate.
Yeah, and then the left was upset because Jesus was spending all that money, and then it turns out the group behind that is like a really right-wing Christian group. So
I was not upset. I was just confused. I was like, wow, that's a lot of money to tell us Jesus had a foot fetish, but okay.
Yeah, in the Bible, Jesus was washing
So
feet.
that stuff doesn't make the list. The top 5. Are you ready for the top 5 on Ad Ranker? These are the top 5 Super Bowl ads.
There's only 2 that mattered to me, although
let's see if they're in the top 5.
The best commercial, and it's not even close, it might be the best commercial of all time, but it got cut down to like 30 seconds, was the Paramount Plus ad.
Okay, that ad, you were raving about that last week, or maybe it was even 2 weeks ago. That's called Hail Patrick.
Yes.
And that came in at number 16.
It's
on the list.
But to be fair,
it got cut down.
We got to see
the
like
2
half.
minutes way better.
Yes, if you see the full Paramount Plus ad with Patrick Stewart and Creed and Drew Barrymore, where he turns and says, "Barrymore, shut your face," it's the best commercial of all time. But they couldn't do it for 2 minutes.
Well, the theme this year was, as we talked about on Friday, was don't offend anyone. Nobody wanted to be the new Bud Light. But then also celebrities. Like, there were tons of celebrity appearances. It seemed like every ad had celebrity in it.
And some of them not even, like Eric Andre was in a drumstick ad? What?
Yeah, and you had Michael Cera. That was
I actually
a weird
thought
one.
the Michael Cera one was pretty good.
It was weird. He's great, but I just thought it was weird. I don't know. They said 60% of all the ads had at least one celebrity.
Yeah.
And many had way more than that.
Yeah.
So number 5 on the USA Today ad ranker of the top 5 Super Bowl ads was Born to Play.
The Nigerian.
Yes.
Okay.
NFL ad. Number 4, Worth Remembering, which is the Uber Eats where Jennifer Aniston forgot who
David Schwimmer
was. It was cute.
Yeah.
Number 3 was Perfect 10. I hated this ad.
Which one was the Perfect 10?
It was the Kia one where so the little girl is doing her ice skating routine and Grandpa can't make it. And so they have a seat for Grandpa, but somehow he's not there. But yet then the guy all of a sudden finds like 200 feet of Christmas lights to suddenly just light up the pond at Grandpa's house, and he takes the girl over there and she skates for him as he looks out his window. That was stupid.
Grandpa does have the nicest cabin I've ever seen.
It was very nice.
Beautiful pond. Yes, I did see that ad too.
That made no sense.
No, but
so they saved a seat for him.
Yeah.
Because he was not at the show,
the performance.
But yet somehow the guy knew that he wasn't going to be there, so he put all the Christmas lights in the car.
Yeah, and I did see when they pulled away, that was a lot of lights that went around the whole lake.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
Get out of here.
Then they plugged him into the car, right? I remember. Hey, but I remembered
Stupid.
it.
You're finding plot holes in many of them.
Dude, that is not a top 5 ad. Get out of here with that. You know what beats that? And I didn't see where. I'll give you the top 2 in a second. I didn't see where this ad fell on this list. As a matter of fact, I got to go find it. But I actually think the world of the Dr. Pepper campaign.
Which one was the Dr. Pepper?
Well, it was early. So if you hadn't turned over to the game, I think it might even have been pregame, like national anthem time. Mm-hmm. But I think the Dr. Pepper campaign is the best. Is the best thing going. The new one was there was this black hole that was sucking up all the players, and it was the transfer portal.
Oh, yeah.
And they're standing there like, and then the quarterback is like holding on to a light pole being sucked into the transfer portal, and he's like, give me your other hand. He's like, no, I can't. That's my Dr. Pepper hand. And then they're talking about how you can't give up your Dr. Pepper hand. The quarterback is replaceable. I have to save my Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And they all get sucked into the transfer portal.
I remember that one.
I find those great. The way they just play on stupid college football.
It's like Fansville or something, right? Yeah, this season in Fansville or something.
With Bosworth and all that. I think it's just hilarious. Anyway, that one is not on here, but that was way better than Kia.
The other one that I liked was the mullet one. I think it was for like a John Deere or like Kubota, some sort of like ATV thing. And every time it drove by something, whatever would get a mullet. It's like a bear got a mullet, an eagle got a mullet. It was business in front, party in the back. And then they drive by like Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's chopping wood, and he grows a mullet. He's like, thanks. I don't remember what, so that probably misses the point, but it was for an ATV and I enjoyed it. That everything got a mullet.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, because like you get up and you go to the bathroom and whatever, but I remember that one thinking it was pretty good.
Number 2 on the ad ranker was the Dun Kings.
Yes.
It was great.
That thing, if you don't know, that was the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Tom Brady, J-Lo.
Yeah.
That thing was awesome. And I guess Duncan has sold out of they sell all that merchandise.
They released them all today and they sold out in minutes.
Gone. And I guess Duncan is being flooded all across the country with people showing up.
Yeah. Well, it's a Boston.
The Dunkings.
It's a Boston company, Dunkin' Donuts.
And Ben Affleck, I guess, loves it.
Affleck does. Yeah, he's raved about Dunkin' for years, and he got Tom Brady and his boy
Matt Damon.
Which I thought Matt Damon was wonderful in it. What was his line? He said something like,
"It's really hard to be your friend."
But he said like, remember when I said I
would do anything for you?
Yeah, this is anything.
This is anything. That
was really good.
That whole thing is great. And yes, if that's not number 1,
it's not.
I think it should be number 1. There's only one other commercial that should be number 1.
I think you got this right.
And if it's not, then screw you.
No, I think you got it right. It's your boy.
It's my boy.
Like a good neighbor.
I'm sorry. The Choppa?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The neighbor, I was dying. Absolutely dying.
That's what I said, neighbor.
And then at some point, he's just popping up in the bushes. Nope. And then Danny DeVito over the top at the end with Like a Good Neighbor.
Yeah, that's good.
That was phenomenal.
Very good campaign there.
Yes.
So that's, of course, State Farm. Like a good neighbor.
Neighbor. That's what I said. Neighbor. Get to the chopper. Phenomenal. And good for Arnold for playing into it. God bless Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's got a good sense of humor.
I'm glad those were 1 and 2 because those were by far the 2 very best.
They were standouts for
commercials.
sure. And those are the top 5 ads from the Super Bowl ad ranker.